Everybody wants success. The money, the freedom, the dream lifestyle. But almost nobody talks about the weird truth behind success. Like how successful people often work while everyone else is sleeping, drink alarming amounts of coffee, and somehow turn stress into calendar appointments. Social media makes success look glamorous. Fast cars, luxury vacations, perfect lives. But behind every successful person is usually a mountain of rejection, sacrifice, failure, self-doubt, and probably a few nights staring at the ceiling wondering what they are doing with their life. Success is not nearly as glamorous as it looks online. And today, we are going to talk about the hidden truths nobody tells you about becoming successful. Most people think success happens quickly, but in reality, success is usually painfully slow. What looks like an overnight success story often took 10 or 20 years. People see the results. They do not see the years of invisible effort behind them. The failed ideas, the rejection, the late nights, the uncertainty, the moments where quitting felt easier. That is one of the biggest hidden truths about success. Nobody applauds the beginning. People only celebrate the finish line. Part 1. Success is boring. More often than exciting. People imagine success as constant excitement. But most success is built through repetition. Doing the same important things over and over again. Working out, learning, improving skills, saving money, building relationships, creating consistently. Success is usually less about massive breakthroughs and more about tiny actions repeated for years. The problem is that repetition is boring, and most people quit because they get bored long before results appear. Successful people learn how to continue even when motivation disappears, because motivation comes and goes. Discipline is what changes lives. Part 2. Nobody really knows what they are doing. This may be one of the most comforting truths about success. Most successful people are figuring things out as they go. They do not have all the answers. They just move forward anyway. Confidence often comes after action, not before it. Many people wait until they feel ready. Successful people start before they feel ready. Because they understand something important. You learn by doing, not by overthinking forever. At some point, you have to stop watching motivational videos and actually do the thing. Part 3. Failure is part of the process. Most people see failure as proof they should stop. Successful people see failure as feedback. Almost every successful entrepreneur, athlete, or creator failed repeatedly before succeeding. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she was not fit for television. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Failure did not stop them. It shaped them. The hidden truth is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every mistake teaches something valuable. Every setback builds resilience. And resilience is one of the most powerful advantages a person can have. Part 4. Success changes your relationships. This is something almost nobody talks about. As you grow, some relationships change. Not everyone will understand your goals. Not everyone will support your ambition. Some people may become uncomfortable when you improve your life, because your growth reminds them of the changes they are avoiding. That can be painful. But successful people learn that growth sometimes requires distance from negativity. You cannot build an extraordinary life while constantly surrounded by people who discourage progress. Environment matters a lot. Part 5. Consistency beats talent. Talent is helpful, but consistency is usually more important. A moderately talented person who works consistently for 10 years can outperform a highly talented person who constantly quits. The world often rewards reliability more than raw potential. Showing up matters, especially when you do not feel like it. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 month and underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. Success compounds. Tiny improvements become massive advantages over time. Part 6. Comparison quietly destroys happiness. Social media has made comparison worse than ever. People compare their behind-the-scenes struggles to someone else's highlight reel, and it creates unnecessary frustration. The truth is, there will always be someone richer, more successful, more attractive, more accomplished. If your happiness depends on being ahead of everyone else, you will never feel satisfied. Successful people eventually learn to compete with who they used to be, not with strangers online, because comparison is exhausting. And honestly, half the people online are pretending they have their life together anyway. Part 7. Success requires sacrifice. Every goal has a price. Success costs time, energy, comfort, entertainment, sleep sometimes. You cannot say yes to everything. Successful people understand the power of focus. Every yes to one thing is a no to something else. That is why priorities matter. Many people want success, but they do not want the sacrifices attached to it. They want the outcome without the process. But the process is where success is built. Part 8. Money does not automatically create happiness. Money solves many problems. Financial stress is real. Freedom matters. But money alone does not guarantee happiness. Some wealthy people are miserable. Some ordinary people are deeply fulfilled. The hidden truth is that success without purpose often feels empty. Real success is not only financial, it is emotional, mental, physical, relational. True success means building a life you actually enjoy living, not just one that looks impressive online. Part 9. Confidence is built through action. Many people think confidence comes first, but confidence usually comes after repeated action. You become confident by surviving difficult situations, by solving problems, by learning, by improving, by failing and realizing you can recover. That is why action is so important. Every small win strengthens belief in yourself. Waiting forever to feel confident is a trap. Confidence grows through experience. Part 10. Successful people protect their time. One major difference between highly successful people and everyone else is how they value time. They understand that time is limited, and once it is gone, you cannot earn it back. That is why they are careful about distractions, careful about unnecessary drama, careful about where their energy goes. Many people waste years scrolling endlessly, arguing online, or worrying about things they cannot control. Successful people focus on what moves their life forward. They understand attention is one of the most valuable currencies in the modern world. Part 11. Discipline creates freedom. Most people think discipline feels restrictive, but discipline actually creates freedom. Financial discipline creates financial freedom. Health discipline creates physical freedom. Time discipline creates life freedom. The hidden truth is that short-term comfort often creates long-term pain, and short-term discipline often creates long-term freedom. Successful people learn to make decisions their future self will thank them for. Part 12. Success is usually quiet. Real success is often much quieter than people expect. It is not always flashy. Sometimes it looks like a paid-off house, no debt, time with family, peace of mind, good health, financial stability, the ability to choose your schedule. That may not go viral online, but it is real freedom. And real freedom is incredibly valuable. Part 13. The biggest secret about success. Here is perhaps the biggest hidden truth of all. Success is not one giant moment. It is daily behavior. Small habits repeated consistently. Learning, improving, staying disciplined, managing emotions, being patient, getting back up after setbacks. That is what creates extraordinary results. Most people search for shortcuts, but the real secret is consistency. It sounds simple, because it is. Simple does not mean easy, but simple works. Final motivation. If you remember one thing from this video, remember this: success is not reserved for a lucky few. It is built gradually by ordinary people willing to stay disciplined longer than most. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to know everything. And you do not need overnight results. You simply need to keep moving forward. Learn continuously. Stay patient. Ignore unnecessary comparison. And keep showing up even when progress feels slow. Because the hidden truth about success is this: most people quit too early. But the people who keep going, eventually become the people everyone else admires. And one day, the hard work nobody noticed becomes the success nobody can ignore.